let's see how this goes, because we have the first fan battle submission for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Comment down below. Do we still call it Fan Fridays? Like, that's effectively what this is, except it's not only going to be uploaded on Friday anymore. I'm just going to upload them as I get around to recording them. And the first submission goes to Local Maple, which just makes sense. He's been on a lot of Fan Fridays with a lot of crazy strats, and I'm seeing a Throat Spray on the Maractus. So, looks like we're going to go into some crazy strats. Light Clay plus Lapras, that makes sense. If we have the Gigantamax, just go into that, set it for 8 turns. So that's going to be pretty good. Araquanid is a dangerous Pokemon, for sure. Cramorant with Scarf is interesting. Bright Powder on the Gastrodon, I like it. And then Assault Vest Manectric. I don't know what's happening in doubles, because I haven't really played any doubles. I don't know what's happening in doubles to demand the Assault Vest Manectric. But I guess we'll just see how that one plays out. But this is going to be cool, because I love seeing the Araquanid. Maybe it's got some cheese, or maybe that's not supposed to be a special Pokemon. The only thing I can think of with the Maractus, because I saw it when I was looking up, like, Throat Spray for the Toxtricity video. It's like, alright, what does, like, Throat Spray actually work with? You just look up sound-based moves. Grass Whistle. So I'm like, status moves could proc the Throat Spray. If they do that, that'd be pretty crazy. So, I mean, Grass Whistle has, like, no accuracy, but if it lands and then you gain special attack, that sounds like a really cool idea for the Maractus. We'll see if that's what it is. And then this is going to be the Lapras, and it will be the Gigantamax Lapras. I don't know what format this is anymore. This isn't allowed in VGC. It's still a 4v4 double battle, but rated battle spot doesn't have it. So, I guess this is just casual battle then? That's going to be the Earthquake, and like, no damage. And that's even without the max resonance. So now we have that. Araquanid just takes it. And I think the opponent, you know, when you see the opponent, like, okay, who's opponenting who? I just kind of, like, tripped up, like, a lot of who's who in this one. But I'm trying to think about this one, because if you have a rain team and you see that your opponent has all water-type Pokemon, don't lead with Drizzle, maybe, but that seems like it's all of his strategy. So maybe have an out or something. I'm guessing that this was supposed to be some kind of, like, rain team for Maple, like you do Resonance and then you hit him with a water type move and then cool things happen anyways. But now the opponent's going for Tailwind, Rain, it's all kinds of wacky. Stockpile on Araquanid with the leftovers is also just going to be super tanky. So Araquanid never dies. The opponent falsely throws out a Protect, thinking that there's actual damage threat, and Drain Punch should do damage, but doesn't. And the Max Lightning hits Super Protect anyways. Ooh, I wish that was enough to KO. That would have been, like, really sweet to see that being enough to KO, but still doing a lot of damage. Now there's an Electric Terrain. So that's the thing. Araquanid throwing down the stockpile. And I guess it's just never going to die. So that's pretty cool. And I'm still trying to figure out what the opponent's going for. Like, there's no damage coming across. The opponent confidently went in, like, we're going to Drizzle, we're going to Seismitoad. I thought it was Swift Swim, but he used Tailwind as well, so I don't know why. The crit Drain Punch, Lapras just still super tanky. And I guess that's maybe one of the plays right there. So, you got the Water team. Oh, I thought that was Lapras that used the Water move to try to draw it in, but no. So, Seismitoad not respecting that. I thought it was going to be Water Bubble, to be honest, because Water Bubble Araquanid is super awesome. It has like 3 abilities rolled into one. Does more damage from water type attacks, takes less damage from fire type attacks, and can't be burned. It reminds me of something I saw with Yasuo back in the day, like when Yasuo first came out. It was like a fake roleplay or like a fake D&D campaign thing with like Yasuo versus Brand. So it's like, I cast Pillar of Flame, well I dash out of the way. Okay, I hit you with my ultimate, I shield it. And then I run up to you and crit you. It's like, wait, what happens? Like, well, that's my passive. Okay. And what about the crit? That's my other passive. So it's one of those things where it's just like so much overtune loaded into one. But then Araquanid didn't have the stats. However, if you support it super hard in doubles, I'm imagining it goes really well. Now the opponent, there's the Max Knuckle. Trying to do the good damage onto the Lapras. He's setting up, but it might be too little too late. If he Max Knuckles for 3 turns in a row, Araquanid's still going to be super tanky. And the opponent's team is just not a good matchup for the Water-type Araquanid. So now we're seeing Rain, Scald. There's a Lunge. That's neat. So Aqua Ring, Leftovers. That's going to be insane amounts of healing. Into the Lunge, and the opponent can't use Water-type moves. I wonder how hard this stops the Dracovish. You just, like, drop an Araquanid on someone. What's that? All of your health? All of your health. Cool. Maractus. Now we get to see what he's up to. Alright, where's the big damage swing? Max Ooze. Now he's getting special attack. Oh, actually a super effective hit on the Maractus. Maractus surviving. Or not special attack. I just like look at Max Ooze and I immediately feel like special attack because it boosts special attack. That's probably the poison jab. So Maractus tanking it, has a hyper voice. Alright. Not as wacky as the grass whistle, but still being able to hit both opponents and then gaining damage and then doing things. Was just like, fear me as Araquanid does its thing. And imagine you need to go max PP on the Araquanid though. That lunge ain't doing a lot of damage. You need this Pokemon turnaround carry somehow. Yeah, it's like, that's supposed to be a hit. That's supposed to do damage, and Araquanid is just not accepting damage. Like, Araquanid is an ATM, and every attack is a crumpled up dollar bill. Or not an ATM, a candy machine. Max Ooze, doing a thing. Gaining, oh, that's right. Oh, and the forfeit, or some weird thing just happened. Futility? I don't even know at that point. But, okay. Communication with trainer ends, and I don't think it matters at that point anyways. Oh, the Giga Drain, and that's where we see the Seismitoad item at least. But I guess the idea of showing off, here's how we get unkillable Araquanid. I'm going to see what happens in the next battle. Okay, not a rain team to make everything stronger and have, like, no resistance. Let's see how this team, like, handles damage. Because that looks like a very aggro Pokemon Sword and Shield doubles team. I was talking about doubles, like, yeah, that's right. When you use Dynamax, it boosts the stats of all those Pokemon in your field. I should probably try to come up with a strategy about that, because that seems like the really fun way of doing it. So you can either set weather or terrain, you can cancel out the opponent's weather, you can do your own shenanigans with that, or you just go, I'm gonna hit Steel Spike twice, and now we don't die to physical moves. And the Lapras. I'm also wondering, like, how safe/dangerous it is to instantly Dynamax. Like, you instantly Dynamax, you try to set as much advantage for yourself as quickly as possible. But the question is, can the opponent negate that with their Dynamax, or is the meta just you just double Kaiju and then you have a showdown and whoever's better wins? But the Flash Cannon, man, that Lapras is too tanky. And the Foul Play. Ooh. Solid hit right there, actually. That's just the problem with Araquanid. It doesn't have a lot of stats initially. But, yo, that Resonance hurt. And now, Aurora Veil. So, Araquanid's going to be feeling good. And there's a stockpile. So, suddenly taking significantly less damage. Aurora Veil in doubles is just going to be like 30% instead of 50% damage reduction. But on top of the 50% defense boosts, now the opponent just lost a lot of damage. Another Flash Cannon. Foul Play. So not even like utilizing the Prankster to its fullest. And there's the Max Lightning. Is Araquanid going for the lunge and just taking out Hydreigon? Or does the point is like, well, Hydreigon doesn't really seem like a threat, so why KO it? Set up that electric terrain, and now there's no sleep. Which I guess is just a side benefit. I don't know, I feel like setting electric terrain is a little risky for a water team to get those benefits, but we'll see how it plays out. There's not like any electric threat coming across. I think that's actually really interesting. Like, now we're in a significant time where weather is very relevant because of Dynamax, but also terrain. It's like, oh, you have a rain team? Well, I'm not going to care about your rain, I'm just going to set an electric terrain, and then I'm going to blow up all of your Pokemon. Is that a possibility? And then that's going to be the Max Geyser, finishing it off with that hit, setting the rain. I think that's also a play right there, too, because, like, if you use Max Geyser earlier, you have less, turn to utilize the rain. Lapras isn't the most damaging Pokemon, but rushing out the Dynamax gets all that damage right there. Like, what's the response? Like, that Dynamax wears off. There's still a lot of turns. Like, I feel like the Light Clay on the Lapras with the Aurora Veil, it's like, okay, the opponent has to wait 8 turns before Dynamaxing, or else it's just going to be hard resisted. Meanwhile, you can either focus the Lapras, which is a tank, or you can focus the Araquanid, which is getting tank, because of all those stockpiles. Oh yeah, Aegislash gets close combat now. That's really cool for like the Max Knuckle idea, but that's not enough to take out the Lapras, so I don't know what happened there. Now it's kind of frail. Can't make up for that too much. And I don't know what this guy's on. Like, is that some kind of weird choice band foul play that I'm not catching on to? Because that did a big hit initially, and now it's just not doing anything because of stockpiles. Woo! Focus Sash. Aegislash. Okay. And then we just have, like, Surf Water Absorb. Man, Blade Form Aegislash at -1, that's crazy. But it's doing its thing. He's just out there living his best life. But I guess the point is, you can't lose at this point. Oh yeah. And like he's Local Maple's only down 1 Pokemon because that's just the silliness that is Lapras. Tanky boy, always been good. Ragnar doesn't even care at this point. He's like, I'm already at full health. You don't need to surf for my sake. Scarf Rain Surf though on the Cramorant. We don't get to see the damage because of the skies. Damn. I was like, Cramorant, yo, Scarf Rain Cramorant, because now he's gonna get hit, do more damage, and then do more damage on top of doing more damage. Is that like a flat amount of damage or something with the Cramorant? Because like I've seen it do weird things. I thought it'd be like rain boosted, but I guess it doesn't like count as a second Surf or a Water type move. Does it just do like 1/4 of the opponent's health? Is that it? Huh, that's right, he just like lost his Pokemon. The Hydreigon went down early and then that was kind of it. Cool. So the team just sits there and doesn't die. Aha! I looked up Cramorant. Interesting mechanics. I've like one-shot every Cramorant, but it's like scarfed or faster than me, so I don't know what it does. So it has 2 forms. The Pikachu form is when it's below half health, and then when it spits back, it paralyzes. And then the other one is it lowers defense, which does synergize with the lunge on the Araquanid, which is pretty nice. So I guess that's the thing that happened. And yeah, we just gonna go out there and see this do its thing. Now the opponent has legendaries. That might make things a bit more spicy. And this setup, I think, is just the unkillable Araquanid. How can you stop it? The opponent didn't even Dynamax last game. No, he Dynamaxed Seismitoad. Wait, no, that was the first game. They're all starting to run together. That last one was just like he just took it. Didn't get Mimikyu Dynamax. Didn't get Aegislash Dynamax. Huh. Also, it's like, yeah, that Seismitoad was probably Water Absorb as well. So that's another safe thing, especially when you see the Tailwind. But it's weird. You have Pokemon that can Swift Swim, but just chose not to. And then Tailwind instead, and then it didn't do any damage anyways. But I guess that is like the anti-Rain to his Rain team. Wow, Araquanid just taking a Moonblast though. Like, that should be a big hit. Turned out not to be. And Noivern gets 1 shot. So that's like the crazy thing about Gmax Resonance. Like, instead of using multiple turns to get Reflect Light Screen, or some kind of like convoluted setup for the Aurora Veil, no, you just kill a Pokemon, and then you get defenses. And then Araquanid doesn't die. Cool stuff. So it's like Aqua Ring, Liquidation, Lunge, makes sense, and then Stockpile on the Araquanid. That's just like your Araquanid. So that's just like the straight up do this with Araquanid. He's got a Sense of Scorch. Oh no. Oh, but this is Dynamax Pokemon. Okay. Okay. I don't know what the Dynamax / Gigantamax Sense of Scorch does. Just Dynamax. I mean, it's still gonna, like, get wrecked. Gardevoir with the Moonblast. Oh, now the focus on the Lapras. And there's the Max Flare. This is gonna be an interesting turn, because it's either use the Water-type move, and then hit Cinescorch, and then it doesn't take as much damage because of that. So yeah, there's the Max Geyser. After the Max Flare. Cinescorch surviving pretty well because of the sun. But it's like, does Araquanid go for the liquidation damage, or does it just keep stockpiling? Because it either gets a free turn to stockpile right here, or you can mix it up and you can try to hurt. Or you get the Aqua Ring. That too. So yeah, that was probably also a pretty interesting play. Leftover Cinescorch. And then Araquanid just gets an eighth of his health. So one thing I want to note is that Local Maple edited this video for his YouTube channel, so check out his YouTube channel if you want to. And yeah, he has like pretty much every upload of his is a Fan Fridays. The ones that didn't make it onto Fan Fridays already. Something crazy like that, you know? So he edited the video. You can see there's like no connections. That's the ideal. Like if you're submitting for Fan Fridays, I would love that, but there's no battle replay, so like there is going to be connectivity. Just straight like recording a battle off your smartphone, off your TV or something, or you have like some kind of capture device. I use the Elgato HD60S. You can find a link in the description down below. If you have all that stuff going on, then that's fine. You know, I don't want to make it to where you have to like know how to do editing for submitting for Fan Fridays, but it would be nice depending on what you're doing for your YouTube channel if you plan to upload it as a legit video or something. But yeah, I just wanted to like kind of get that way. Just comment a YouTube link and then I'll check out your submission. Done and done. But now we got Rain. That's the thing about Lapras being slower. So it's like we can preserve our Rain. We can nuke out the opponents. We got the Unkillable at this point. Eternatus comes in. But does that really matter? The opponent using legendaries. Normally we cry out unfair, but I guess that's what happens in the free format. You can Gigantamax, but you can also find opponents using legendaries. And it just doesn't matter. No matter what they do to the Lapras ain't going anywhere. The G-Max Resonance is so filthy. And it even has Icy Wind for the slow. G-Max Resonance is too filthy for me, guys. Like, you have just tanky Pokemon that don't take any damage. Ever. I feel like this battle's gonna be kind of slow to close out, though. Oh, dang. I was trying to see if I could like speed it up, but I couldn't. I was just pressing buttons because I don't use VLC. I thought there was a 2x feature on VLC. 1 second. Okay. I goofed it, but we're here. Lapras is consistently taking more damage, but consistently slowing down the opponents into nothing. Still slow itself, though. Lapras has the Ice Beam. Eterna's taking the damage now. And then there's a Draco Meteor. Unless it crits, it doesn't matter. Man, that Aurora Veil for 8 turns is just so filthy. Like, I knew Lapras was good. I had like some other ideas for Lapras. You know, Dragon Dance. You Dragon Dance, and then you go for the Dynamax, and then you just set up the shenanigans from there. Get Rain, and then you one-shot everything. The survivability on that might be tricky, but Lapras seems like it can be around for a lot of turns, so it might not even matter that much. They're like, well, the only thing we can attack is Lapras. So Lapras finally goes down. Also, it's nice having the turn counter. Man, Game Freak, just give us battle replays. I really hope that comes a part of Pokemon Home or something, or they have a plan to, like, update it. Maybe they couldn't get it out in time for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Someone that has connections to Game Freak and or Nintendo and or the Pokemon Company, please, I need answers. Like, did they just think that no one used it, so they didn't want to do it? Like, if they're just like, oh yeah, no one cared about it, so we're not doing it, that makes me upset. But if there's hope, then that's good. Gastrodon, that's going to be good against the Eternatus. Oh my goodness, the Bright Powder actually coming to play. So I saw the Bright Powder on Gastrodon, and I like it, because I've just slapped Bright Powder onto Pokemon before. Because if I can't find, like, a better item, it's like, well, what item am I going to use on this Pokemon? You know, I already have a Citrus Berry slot, a Leftover slot. If nothing else makes sense, just splash that. And then the Gastrodon Storm Drain, raising special attack. That's neat. Might as well just put stats everywhere. Aurora Veil finally wears off, but Araquanid's unkillable, and the battle was canceled anyways. Alright, there we go, guys. That was our first submission, showing you guys 3 wacky battles of how strong Gigantamax Lapras is, and then just Araquanid. I've always had that appreciation for Araquanid. There's been some cool Fan Fridays, but now the doubles comboing is definitely there. You can heal it, because we've seen the water absorb for multiples. We've seen the water absorb combos for years now, and then stockpiling while under the resonance means you're never going to die. And then eventually they have to do something. Either Lapras becomes a threat, and then you ignore Araquanid, or while you're hitting Araquanid, everything else is slowly killing you. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.